I am assuming a different form tonight because I'll be checking out. I don't know how large the map is, but I have heard that there is a port of the Resident Evil 1 mansion, which is a little strange to me because if it's the one from Resident Evil 1 Remake, technically a lot of things in that game are like pre-rendered. So I'm very curious to see what they mean by port because there's not a lot of I don't know how they would have acquired 3D assets of the environment in that case. You can definitely acquire assets of like the characters and certain items and everything, but a lot of the environments in that game are still pre-rendered, so it could be considered a recreation. I don't know. We'll find out soon enough. Take out my camera here. Spencer Mansion by Contro VR, and that was uploaded like just this month, so providing the map files. So it might be a this might be a recreation. I don't think it would be like a direct port. So, but yeah, let me check it out here and see how this is. Always excited to see like whatever. There's not a lot of Resident Evil stuff. You would think there would definitely be more ports of Resident Evil. But it's usually, and I mentioned this before when I've done videos covering like whatever exists of Resident Evil stuff in VRChat, but a lot of it is like the same stuff. There's a lot of ports from Resident Evil 4. There's like an extended port of Resident Evil 4 where you can explore a lot of the village. Oh wow. Oh, this is beautiful. Okay. Oh my god. Huh. I wonder where is this like. Oh yeah, this was definitely the best port that I've seen. Holy shit. This, like I said, there's been recreations. Like I said, I don't know if it's a port though, because actual Resident Evil 1 remake, a lot of it's like pre-rendered. You know, it has the fixed camera angles because it's pre-rendered. That's the way they go hand in hand. Yeah, look how pretty this is. Like the lighting and everything. This is like amazing. Even got like I wonder how much of this is explorable if it's just okay, so there are I was told that they have like the door opening animation from the game incorporated. So, but I want to check out the main hallway first. And they even have this area behind here as well. Yeah, this area here, I don't think it's in the first version of Resident Evil 1, which is on the PlayStation, whatever else they ported it to. I don't think the access to the lab is behind in the same area that it is in Remake. Look at that. Can we go? Yeah, that's not accessible. Oh, they did a really good job in the lighting here. I'm gonna have to investigate the 3D files that they pulled for this, because I'm very curious, like, if, like, where, like, if this is, like, a complete, like, remodel that someone did. Like, a very accurate, like, remodel. Yeah, I don't think this is, like, is that the actual? I don't think it is, because this doesn't look like the same one. Actually, there's the graveyard though. Yeah, I believe because even in the remake, you have to find like a little arrowhead to put into the painting that comes up. And you have access to the graveyard. So this is definitely like different. It's been a while since I played Resident Evil 1 remake, and I had intended to like years back when I was doing a Halloween thing. There's like a randomizer for it, but my computer, because the way certain randomizers are set up, my computer kept flagging it. So I wasn't able to actually like install the files, but I think there's like a better way to do. There's like this whole program set up for Resident Evil randomizers now. It's the same one that Vinny was using for some of the randomizers. It just has a lot of the games built into it now, so it actually would be easier for me if I wanted to do like Resident Evil 1 remake randomizer or Resident Evil 2. I did play Resident Evil 4. Is it via BizHawk? There is like an external thing you can get now to play that kind of hooks into like whatever you have to play the different games now. Ooh, this is accessible too. Here, 1 second. Fix the camera a little bit. Oh boy. Oh, okay, good. The lighting actually, the model actually looks good in here too, as well. Not the flatting doesn't, the lighting doesn't look so flat. Sometimes in certain environments, this model looks a little flat because it's more realistic. Of course, in VRChat and a lot of environments, anime style avatars look better with the shaders that they have than some realistic. It's hard to get down. It's hard to get the look right for realistic avatars in VRChat because of the shaders available to use for that. I just need to adjust something really quick. There we go. Okay, where should we go to next? Maybe I should follow the route that's in the game. Just kind of like follow from memory where you usually start here. BizHawk is your first thought? Yeah, that's how people would do it before. I don't know if it hooks into BizHawk. The thing. I'll have to actually ask Vinny because he's the one who made use of it before. For the Resident Evil 4 randomizer though, when I played that, there's like a separate tool. And I also, there was like a separate thing where I was able to use the Ultra HD, like graphics pack for that, and also, the randomizer at the same time, which, oh shit, oh my god. This is so awesome. Oh my god, look how, oh my god, my heart. This is, I never thought, now it's not 100% accurate, I can already tell. It is a recreation, it's not a port. I can already tell, like, many things that are missing from this already. Like, well, the clock doesn't seem to be in the right place, but that's the thing, like, the actual game is a mostly pre-rendered environments. In fact, if I recall correctly for Resident Evil 1 Remake and 0, what they did for the rendered environments is it's some method that uses like a video file, so they would record like an animated like 3D environment, so they like all the rendered environments use like a pre-recorded thing incorporated into the game. Wow, they even did that outside too, like the forest. I don't think you can go outside though. The dining room is Chris's blood. They had the blood. They had the blood. The dining room. Is this Chris's blood? Yeah, let me check. Let's check and see. Should we? You know, this makes me. What a mansion! Wow, what a mansion! I love the fucking dumbass. The old. The reason it's like that too. If you didn't hear the lore about why the voice acting was so bad, is it wasn't just the voice direction, it had something to do, because there wasn't like a Japanese script. The devs, obviously Shinji Mikami and whoever else involved, what's his name? Mr. Blockmaster, what's his name? I actually don't remember if he was involved in 1. I know he's involved in 2 though, but obviously the Resident Evil, didn't they grab, no, I don't know if they grab random people. I think they're people who definitely had a history of something, but it's because they wanted like a Western. They didn't have a Japanese. They weren't planning to do a Japanese dub or anything. They wanted strictly Western, and of course, like Shinji Mikami and some of the other devs are fucking they're film Westaboos, so they really like Western films and everything. Obviously, that shows in the game itself because there's a lot of inspiration here. Should we give it? Oh God, that's not a good pose. We gotta give the blood a little taste. Is this Chris's blood? You do the splits on the floor, Rebecca. Yeah, there was just a lot of intentional. It was intentionally bad. Like it was because the Japanese devs intentionally wanted things to be like read in like a Western way. The only problem is I think the voice direction was bad. So, and that's why it kind of like turned out the way it did. But you know, actually, I don't know if this avatar has go-go. Hold on, does she have go-go? No. This is how you can tell. Look, is this how you can tell this is the old fucking avatar? It's probably like a 2.0 one still. It doesn't have any of the new stuff on. Jackal, what if the Welcome Leon sign was still in the police department in RE9? I'm actually, yeah, this is SDK2. It hasn't been pulped yet, I don't think. There are some SDK2 avatars still around. I'll have to check, baby. Yeah, I'm very sussy about the new... You know, guys, after the new trailer, and I said this, let me see if I can get on the table. Can I get on the table? Yes, I need to stay on the table. Yeah, so we can talk about Resident Evil. Yeah, don't get me in a Resident Evil tangent, because that's my autism. That's my prior autism before... God. Well, my first hardcore interest was Digimon, but then it became Resident Evil, and then sometime way after that, it's now Megaten. All monsters, stuff with monsters, isn't that cool? So I'm conflicted about Resident Evil 9 mainly because of the PC port stuff. I think if I had like a PS5 or something, it wouldn't be an issue. I would just get it right off. I already mentioned that I think the other day. I'm feeling very questionable about Capcom PC ports likely. However, at Resident Evil 9 trailer, I'm like, God damn it. I really want to know what's going on. Because I've been in the community, Resident Evil community, maybe not at the beginning, but I do consider I've been there for quite a while. Ever since the early 2000s is when I started getting into it. So I know a lot of the lore and everything like that. I will say, when the new games came out, like Resident Evil 7 and 8, and any side thing that they did involving the mold, I've been sort of out of the loop, because there's a lot of, side lore and shit that they incorporated that ties, Resident Evil 8 now ties, Umbrella. Umbrella was apparently there, the founders of Umbrella, or way before that, was there, in... I don't even remember the fucking country that Resident Evil 8 took place in. I already forgot. But they did stuff with the mold, so I'm like, is Resident Evil 9 gonna be? Are they gonna try and tie the mold into that? It seems like it's mostly the T-virus, but there's an infection going on called the Raccoon City Syndrome, and it gradually. You know what it reminds me of? This is funny. God, some people don't like this movie. But the Final Fantasy VII, is it Event Children? Where they had what the fuck was it called? It was some thing that gradually infected people, and it had to do with the Earth or whatever. And it kind of reminds me of that. So hopefully it's not some dumb thing like that, because it's just gonna be too funny. I haven't read it to the Raccoon City Syndrome. I've been kind of in the dark a little bit about the game. It's not on top of it as I used to be with Resident Evil stuff, because I used to be tearing those trailers apart, do theories and all that. But now I'm just sort of as long as it's good. I don't think Spirits Within did that. Advent Children had some sort of weird black thing that would start spreading on some of the people, the children, and even some of the I don't know if it happened to the Sephiroth clones, but it was something that was happening to people in post events involving Sephiroth and everything. Oh, Geostigma. That was the one. Yeah, I'm a little weirded out by the Raccoon City infection, because the way they present it in the trailer, it almost makes it seem like the longer you dwell in the area of Raccoon City, because it's the Raccoon City ruins, and They didn't drop a nuke, by the way. I always like that's the confusion about that. I'm pretty sure it was just missiles. I don't think it was an actual nuke because if it was an actual nuke, and I mean maybe it's been long enough to where things have subsided, like the radiation, then they can go back to it. But I think if it was a nuke, that you would actually tell destruction wise, based on what they showed, things would be a lot more messed up, like, and you would actually be able to tell there was radiation damage. There isn't radiation damage. It's actually just missiles that left a big crater in one spot, but somehow a lot of Raccoon City is still intact. But it could be questionable because before I explore the rest of this mansion, there was actually, I mentioned this a little bit, and I mentioned this yesterday. A lot of people don't know about it. There was a Japanese only mobile game that was running for a while. A lot of the game took place in the ruins of Raccoon City. There were factions, and there were ex-Umbrella scientists still doing shit in there. Like, after Raccoon City was destroyed, they, like, went in there and they set up, like, labs. And they were doing experiments, especially on children. And that trailer showed a weird child with platinum hair, and there's actually a girl. And of course, like in the mobile game itself, the whole game is like anime styled. Like all the characters look anime, so it's like anime Resident Evil. But there's actually a girl in the mobile game that has like she has like silver hair, and she was an experiment for a different virus that is tied to the T virus. It's a whole thing, but so I'm actually wondering if they're pulling from that mobile game because it was actually pretty cool. The only thing is there were certain aspects of that game where a lot of stuff that happened was like a simulation too, because there was a bio supercomputer that one of the ex Umbrella scientists put together, and it would also do simulations of like Raccoon City and other areas, which was pretty cool. And sometimes some of the Resident Evil protagonists, they would like go back to investigate the ruins of Raccoon City, and they get stuck in the simulation, and a bunch of things that would happen to them that aren't real. So I'm like, when I saw that Resident Evil 9 trailer, I was like, makes you wonder. Not a lot of people know about that mobile game, so I wonder if they even think about it in regards to this. So yeah, I don't know if they're making it canon, but they might pull some stuff from it because it had some very interesting ideas. So we'll see what happens. Okay, right over, or tangent over. I had to talk about it for a bit. Yeah, so I don't know what I'm gonna do because now I'm like, oh, I kind of want to play it like immediately, but I don't know how the port's gonna be. I might actually. I was also kind of like financially strapped too. So I wasn't sure if I wanted to, that's, I don't think I have the means to drop on it right away. Okay. I'm gonna go back in here because I don't know if the side door is open. I want to see how much of the mansion is available. But yeah, I have a great love of this series. The thing is, I really fell off after a while because, like, I think Resident Evil 6 just kind of... Oh, this is open. Okay. Wow, they really actually included a lot of this, didn't they? I wonder if they're gonna have... Are they gonna have, like, the zombie eating the face off? No, it's not there. The blood pool is here. Yeah, because when you first start the game, depending on who you... I don't remember Chris's playthrough as much. I would usually play as Jill because I like Jill. So normally, you explore the dining room as Jill and Barry. Jill decides to investigate the hallway, and she comes here on the famous scene. The very first time you encounter a zombie is here, and zombies nomming away on one of their teammates in here. He turns around, and Jill like runs the fuck away. Barry, there's a monster. RE6 hammer the buttons and wiggle the sticks. Yeah, I love that video. RE6 really ruined things for me. The thing is, I liked, God, there really is a lot of this mansion, isn't there? Am I gonna get to, like, the other stuff tonight? I'm in the Resident Evil hole here. Oh, it looks so good. It looks so good, like the lighting and everything. Wait, kind of a little discussion too, because someone on my server was comparing the OG Resident Evil, Resident Evil 1, how vibrant it looks to how washed out the I just noticed where the fuck they're actually, huh? I never noticed. Was that there? You don't get to see this up close. A lot of these details you don't get to see up close too much because the environment's like pre-rendered. But I didn't realize there were fucking shackles there. That's like really fucked up. Well, this whole mansion is kind of fucked up, anyways. But considering like the kind of traps and puzzle rooms that they have set up, usually like crows in here too. I think. Huh. Let's see if there's two things. Take this. It's especially good against living things. Let's see. Is this? Oh, this is open. Holy shit. Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of going out of sequence, I think, but we'll just continue on this way. Because of course, with this game, did you know that this game has been described as a Metroidvania? Like the way the RE1 mansion is designed specifically. Ooh. I'll get back to that. But yeah, see, I keep changing topics. I believe the armory room is in here. I think. Or no, actually it's in another hallway. I forgot what's in this door. I think even include the music though. The interesting thing is, oh yeah, there is like weapons and armory in here. See, the thing is if I was going in here personally, because these are perfectly usable, right? I was always upset with not being able to grab these weapons because they have a bunch of weapons just sitting around. And I'm thinking like, yeah, you are limited to like, in the Resident Evil 1 remake, you have to find defense weapons, so there'll be like knives and a battery pack or whatever, the stun gun around in case you get grabbed by a zombie and you can quickly use those. But I'm like, and like you get limited to those, and I'm just looking around like, what about this? I would carry this around, and I would just like, you could easily just gank a zombie with that, and like, I would take this, and I would just impale a zombie against the wall, and just, you know, you could just keep it there, and keep it stuck there. Even the because in this game the crimson heads are a problem, right? Unless you burn them. If you don't burn the zombies, that's another thing I really love that. None of the other games really did. I can't remember another Resident Evil game that really did the crimson head thing, and those things are fucking scary. It was like a reminder that, like, hey, if you didn't burn the corpses, if you kill a bunch of zombies and you leave their corpses around, guess what? You're gonna have a problem later. So there was like a whole management thing. A Jill Krusty Burger. Yeah, I wonder where the squish room is, like the room that, I'm trying to think where that is. I don't think it's on this side of the mansion. I think this goes outside. God, I love this door opening animations. Oh, this goes back out in the hallway. Okay. Wonder if... God, there's a lot. I did not expect there to be so much of this. So I might end up shafting some of the other things I was going to check, but let me just enjoy Resident Evil. Yeah, unfortunately I can't push. Usually you push, this is like another puzzle thing, but usually you push the statue and it'll break and you'd get like an item out of it. Yeah, this is kind of wild though. Technology is kind of amazing because like I never would have thought, because I played this Resident Evil 1 remake on the GameCube back in the early 2000s. I never would have thought of exploring it or something like it in VR, like at the tender age of 40. Took this long, but hey, it's been like 20 years. At least it's nice to experience something like this before I die, right? I wanted to get back to something though. I was having a discussion with someone about the difference, like how vibrant original Resident Evil 1 looked versus the remake, but the thing is like I like both, but I think the remake has realistic lighting. You know, the original does not have the realism of the lighting, so everything's like flat colored. And you had to have like very primitive lighting baked in. Was I just in here? Did I go in here yet? So while the original looks very vibrant, it doesn't have like the realistically lit environments and how dark it would actually be. Like the mansion, like the way it looks in the original. Um, yeah, this room's definitely different looking. Yeah, this is definitely different than even the remake. I remember this room. There's like a puzzle in here. But yeah, realistically, the mansion, it would be pretty dark. There would be like, there'd be a few lights on, but it would actually be pretty. It wouldn't be as vibrant, I don't think. So I don't have an issue with like the washed out colors a little bit. It does make it a bit spookier in my opinion than like very bright colors. Um, 6 was a lot of good ideas executed poorly. Oh, there was like, I don't know, because it could have been worse. Because in like, if you've ever seen any of the beta concepts for it, they were planning to do like, oh, they even did the, yeah, this is a puzzle room, so you're supposed to use, I think, like a light or something in order to, or this to light up the gem that's in here, and then you get like one of the gems from the Buck's head. There's like a bunch of scrap concepts for. Wow, it's dark in here. Is that a bison head? Can't really see it though. There's a scrap concept that shows you. There's like drawings that shows like a bunch of Ada clones. They were originally gonna do like a thing like the original movies where you know how they had a bunch of clones of Alice. They were gonna do that to Ada Wong, and like that's just like just no. It was gonna be worse, way worse. I think they like 6 isn't great. They had some good ideas, but they also had a lot of like bad ideas to begin with. Like even Jake wasn't even intended to be Wesker's son. He was really just a mercenary that was gonna like work along with Sherry. But they were like, oh no, Wesker's so popular, we need to include him in some way. And so they made Jake his son instead. And just to have like the Wesker connection, I don't think that worked. I don't think, like, there was no reason to do that because there was still Alex Wesker. Like, they could have actually made use of her early, but instead they waited to make use of Alex Wesker until like Revelations 2. So I don't know. As a character, he was fun. You know what he reminded me of? Because people would make fun of him a bit. He was like, everyone kept saying he looked like Starkiller from like the one Darth Vader game. Remember the Star Wars? What the fuck was it called? Was it Force Unleashed? But there was like a Darth Vader's apprentice, I think he was, Starkiller, and everyone says that like Jake just looked like him. So, oh, that's locked. So he was okay. 6 was trying way too hard to do a bunch of things at once to please like a bunch of different types of fans, and I don't think it worked too well. Let's see, playing this on the GameCube back in the day was an experience. It was such a jump in quality versus the original. It's still what I would consider the golden example of how remakes should be done. Hold on here. I always consider it, I think Shadow, the only other one that's considered a good, like, one-for-one remake with, well, it's not one-for-one. Basically, what they did with the remake of 1 is, and it's something I consider, like, the way to do it is instead of changing so much, you build on top of what was there. You recreate, you take what was from the original, recreate it, and then you build on top of it. Because they obviously added, like, new stuff, right? And, like, new areas and everything like that. Instead of, like, rewriting everything, they just sort of built on top of it. Otherwise, I consider it like the golden example of how a remake should be done. And I think another example of that was the Shadow of Colossus remake. I think that is another example of a remake that's also considered like an example of how one should do those. So, and for some reason there aren't a lot of examples of that. So, I don't know. Nowadays, a remake means remaking the story too, which is not so. Whoa, was there a hole here? Also, this hallway is a lot darker than it should be, I think, but I don't remember a hole being here. Obviously, I can't actually go past here. I don't remember a hole being here at all. Okay, then. Well, I guess I can't actually go through there. Which is unfortunate because this area here goes to some pretty interesting rooms, but I don't know if I can get access to it yet. Okay. Let's see, did I go? This was locked, right? Okay. Alright. And this was locked. And then there's this. Did I check out the other rooms? I think I did, right? So I'll have to go downstairs, see what I can access. Because there's a dining room, and then these doors here, which you would go to, because there's not, when you go through the dining room and then you check out the side area, there's not a whole lot you can check out when you go on this side. So you come back out in the beginning of the game, and then you go through here. It's one of the early areas to get like the map and everything. Ooh, oh, look at this. Now this is well done. Made possible by the many friends. Huh. Yeah, normally you would get up here. Can I actually get on the ladder? Would be funny if they actually put like a map item, but yeah, you grab the map. I think your first map in the game, you grab it from there. This is another area. I think I got jump scared later in the game because I think one of the earlier zombies you encounter, you go back here. There's actually 2 jump scares that occur because you go back in this area here. You go all the way back here and you get your first defense item, I think, for the remake. And then you get jump scared by a zombie that like followed you, like right behind you, so you have to use your first defense item. It's just a way of like teaching you how to use the defense items in case you get grabbed. Also, I think there was like one of these areas had like a door in front of a painting. I'm guessing it's this one, but let me see what's behind here. There's like a hidden room. To this day, I still don't get the first aid tic-tacs. What do you mean the tic-tacs? What do you mean the first aid are you talking about, like, wasn't that a thing in Resident Evil 6? Oh, they included, okay, yes, this is like a bonus area for costumes, I think. I think this is where you get the extra costumes after you beat the game. Or you get like a special key. This little side room here. Okay. But yeah, later in the game, because of the Crimson Heads, like, you know, if you don't remember to burn all the bodies, they'll turn to Crimson Heads and come after you. Well, I don't know what happened, but I remember pushing this over in this area, because this, you can actually push this over, but I don't remember why. But I remember when you come back in the mansion later, and a lot of the zombies you didn't burn turn to Crimson Heads, I remember coming back through this door, And that fucker, as a Crimson Head was coming over, I'm thinking like for some reason I had blocked him with the piece of furniture before I left the mansion and came back. So that actually saved me, but it fucking scared me because I was like, oh shit, that's right. I actually forgot about the zombie that you encounter here. So you gotta make sure to remember to burn them. But there's kind of like a limit. I think there's like a limit to how many zombies you can burn too, because you have to like you have to manage, like you got to get oil and carry it with you. This is the other jump scare. This is the classic jump scare area because this is where the dogs come out the window. This looks really nice. Sadly, no jump scare in VR. It would be funny if they actually implemented that, but basic jump scares actually work really well in VR, which is why I kind of hate going to, like, they still get me, even like the dumbest jump scares. Like I've been to like really shitty horror maps in VR with like, I don't know, where they just flash like an image in front of your face with the scream. It still gets me, especially in VR. Oh, yeah, 6, yeah. I guess 6 had, like, pills. They had, like, herb pills. Okay. Ah, and then there is one more door left. Okay, and this is locked. Well, I guess that's it. But yeah, that's amazing. I kind of hope... Well, I don't know if the... So they pulled from some 3D files that someone, like, on... It's probably someone's actually, like, custom modeled files for the mansion. I don't think they're pulled straight from the game, but... So I don't know if the person who ported this would be able to add any more areas, because if it's based on like what the person already modeled, then that's probably all that was there, right? But yeah, this is amazing. This is probably like the best recreation of the Resident Evil 1 mansion that I've seen. I enjoy it greatly.